Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of The Vigilant, a podcast where we discuss issues peculiar to the Nigerian society. I'm Favor Aya, and today we'll be discussing a trendy topic, Steeze. Steeze and ease in the midst of hardship. And joining me today are our longtime guest, Elizabeth Fidelis. And we have a new person in the building, in the person of Olaiton. You're welcome to Vigilant.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right, we know it so well that Nigerians are so good with trendy words. This year we started with the phrase "no GREE for anybody," and it was so funny and all of that. Though we know that the meaning is quite different, and so many other people understood it differently. And today the word on the street is steeze and composure. And today we are talking about steeze in particular, steeze and ease. But the funny thing is that we are maintaining steeze, but then there's this gross hardship in the country. So I wonder how a word like steeze made it to the society. So today, with Olaiton and Elizabeth, we are going to discuss all about steeze and whether if we should hold on to it or maybe do away with it. So in the process of the podcast, we are going to take you through all of that, and do well to join us all through to the end. Thank you. And okay, let's start with the first question for the podcast. What does steeze mean to you as a Nigerian?
Okay, in my own understanding, I think it's a compliment. For someone that is put together and you have this confidence, you have this power, like, oh, nothing is getting to me. So I feel like that is where the word steeze comes from.
Okay.
Like that's how we started using it due to the hardship we're going through.
Yes.
And then a lot of people are still maintaining composure. They're still looking so confident, like, this thing does not have me. So I feel like that is where steeze came from for Nigerians.
I think so too. So Elizabeth, when you hear the word steeze, what comes to mind?
Well, I believe Olaiton has given a very good definition of the word steeze. Like she said, it's all about keeping your calm, staying cool, even when things are going wrong or things are not really going the way it ought to be. So and I think there's one peculiar thing about we Nigerians is the fact that we are able to sell a particular idea and people buy it. Just like you said, the no GREE for everybody, and someone came up with this steeze, right? And everybody bought into it.
Yeah.
So I feel it's a good quality. It's something worth like complimenting, because Nigeria have this kind of quality that when they're going through tough times, there's always a kind of defense mechanism against it. So I have to commend whoever came up with that word.
Steeze.
So apart from just what's happening in the economy, you can also, if you just look at that word like on a personal, maybe on a maybe individual, you want to look at it based on maybe how people behave. I think you've given a very good definition, and when we're bringing it down to what's happening in the economy, I think it's all about we staying confident and optimistic that things are going to get
No matter
better.
what has been going on.
Exactly.
I think one thing I love Nigerians about is that they have something for every season. They have something for every season.
If you catch them on guard.
Never.
There's something for something.
And it's very peculiar, and that's amazing.
It's a good thing that we are here, we are Nigerians, and we've been maintaining steeze.
I'm not in Nigeria.
Oh wow!
You just introduced me as a long-time guest, so I've been in the States, all right. So I just actually came back, and I'll be going soon. So
oh right, but then the thing is that you are in Nigeria currently.
Currently.
And
yes.
all of us, we've been maintaining steeze and composure.
We have to go with the flow.
So, being Nigerians, in what way have you maintained steeze of late? In what way have you maintained steeze?
Okay, I think there was a time I was discussing with my mom, like, the price of things keeps going up all the time.
Yes.
You go to the market today, as at that time, like, the hike was going so crazy.
Daily.
So when you go to the market today, you get something for 2,000. The next time you're going is for 2,500, 3,000. I was just complaining like, wow, this thing is going crazy. But then when you see me outside, you would not know. You would not know that it's that girl that is ranting in the house. Like I'm always shouting like, mommy, this thing is, I don't know. How do I cope? Things are getting difficult and all of that. But then outside when you see me, I'm still that cool person. I'm still that person that when you're talking about Nigeria, I will just listen to you like, oh, everything will be well. At least everything will get better. So I feel like every one of us at this point,
everyone, no one is an exception. No one is an exception.
I'm actually an exception because everybody has been maintaining Steeze. I don't think I should be in that clique because I'm not. I make it very audible. Like even yesterday I was going home. I think I was about to take a bike. I can't really recall, but someone said something that Nigeria is going to get better. I was like, man, let's not deceive ourselves. It's not going to get better. I know before we used to be very hopeful. We used to be very optimistic. We are trying to sound so churchy and religious that we are believing in God that things are going to get better. I told you, Mama, please, it's not going to get better. And in maintaining Steeze, I think I've been failing in that area. Maybe online,
but
social media branding.
You look good. You don't look like
I
what
know,
you're
but
look too good for someone in Nigeria.
I understand. Maybe the kind of Steeze I'm talking about. I'm talking from the part that if I go to the market now and I'm like, okay, ma, please, what's the price of this thing? And maybe the last time I went, it was actually sold for 1.5, and now she's telling me 2.5. I'm like, geez. My Steeze has been destroyed though. Like, let it be destroyed because it's alarming at the way things are really going high.
Yeah.
And see, I've been trying to maintain Steeze, yes, but we can't just avoid it. Most times, it's unaware. It just happens. You don't even know when you just lose that Steeze, but all the same thing, you can never catch us.
Do you know my problem with this Steeze of a thing? I love Steeze. It's good that all of us should maintain Steeze. But when the picture is not looking promising, you look forward. It will kill the Steeze. It will kill the vibes of the Steeze. So I would have loved it if it was a situation that, the government, they are working out things and, okay, let's keep maintaining Steeze till something comes to actualize. But then you're maintaining Steeze and the worst is happening.
Like it's getting worse.
The worst is happening. So it becomes like, I always think, how long are we going to keep maintaining Steeze? Is it going to be forever or till we get to heaven?
And this word called Steeze, most times when trend like this occur, it's very, very good to question who brought this
the origin.
Who brought this up, who started this trend, and what is the ideology behind it? Because if you look at it, or if you ask me from my own perspective, I don't know about Favor and Olaiton, but if you look at it, you see that this word Steeze or the ideology behind it counters everything that has to do with Sorosoke speak up.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet made by Aisha Yusufu. She said something. She was apologizing to Nigerians on Twitter as at yesterday. She said, okay, when it comes to things about Nigeria, I'm not going to speak anymore because it seems like speaking up for Nigerians who are actually suffering in the hands of the federal government is now a problem. And so people were commenting, a lot of people dropped comments. People were like, that's what it is, because when you're trying to help people who don't want to be helped. So if you check the idea behind this Steeze, like it says, it's about, keeping composure, feeling just trying to stay confident and calm, not being caught on fresh or what is happening. It counters everything that has to do with we speaking up. So it means even as NLC is clamoring for an increase in minimum wage. Yes. A lot of things is happening. ASU is about to go on strike. A looming strike is there. School fees, everything is just going high. So if you are saying Steeze, like Favor is saying, reality check is that. This counters everything that we need to speak up. If I have to maintain Steeze, you have to maintain Steeze. Every activist have to maintain Steeze. Then who is going to fix what is happening? It means the government is going to buy into it and tell us that, just like our president said, he swaggered. That he's keeping Steeze. He fell.
Yeah.
I'm on
he
track,
maintains
right?
Steeze.
So he maintains Steeze.
Yeah.
So if you're telling everybody to maintain their Steeze, it means that the reality check is that we are just actually destroying this country.
Yeah, recently I was having a discussion with someone and I was talking about the fact that with the increase of things, the Nigerians that I know before would have started protesting. They would have started shouting, and then online you hear people say things are going haywire and we're not seeing anything. So, I was saying that I feel the NLC coming up and talking about this thing is a way of letting us wake up like
Yes.
something is wrong somewhere. And it's more like these people are using something for Nigerians, because this is not the Nigerians that I know. Any little thing where how they're clamoring for change, clamoring for, oh, we're tired of this, we're tired of that. But this time around, everybody seems, I feel like that word steeze is working magic. Everybody's trying to maintain that. So even when you want to talk, you just feel like, I beg, let me maintain my steeze, let me not talk. So I feel like that is one of the problems we're having now, because I think it's time we start letting the government know we're going through a lot.
I love the angle from which both of you are coming from. It's quite meaningful and it makes a lot of sense. In as much as we are trying to maintain steeze, we shouldn't look beyond or below
The hardship
of the yes, we should be doing something. Maintaining steeze should be something that is personal, but when it comes to things that are related to the nation, we have to you don't have to look like a mad person because you are going through economic hardship, but when you have to speak up, you do have to speak up.
I agree with you.
So leading us to the next question, is steeze merely a coping mechanism, or do you see that in the nearest future it is going to drive progress?
For now, I don't think, with the way Nigerians are taking it, I don't think it's going to drive progress. Now, let's say we're looking at steeze in the area of fashion.
Okay.
It would have made sense.
Okay.
Like, or when you see this person put together, looking all nice, sharp, and you're like, oh, this guy is on steeze. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But now in the area of economy, I think steeze is already diving deep into that. And because of that, no one wants to complain that things are getting so hard. GREE is meant to be for the poor. And now when you go to the market to
as
buy...
far as I could remember, it was a food for the poor. So what happened?
Now when you get to the market, you hear a rubber of GREE is for 1,400 naira.
Okay.
Now even the poor finds it hard to take GREE.
Yeah.
So, and we're still maintaining steeze regardless. No, like we don't want to complain. Nobody wants to come up and be like, oh, now I saw a celebrity coming up and was like, okay, she wants to stop joking. But for real, one rubber of GREE is 1.4. But yeah, anyway, she's still maintaining steeze. But she just needs to let us know that a rubber of GREE is for 1,400 naira. So I feel like at this point, we need to stop. When you want to talk about steeze, when you see someone put together, looking nice, looking sharp, of course, you're maintaining steeze. But when it comes to the area of economy, please, let's face reality at this point. Let's speak up.
And it's funny for a president that once said, let the poor breathe.
We know they breathe at this point.
The poor, they're already in coma, about to die, and nothing is still happening, and they expect us to still maintain steeze. Okay, like when we take English exams back in the days, there is this part of the exam that say nearest in meaning, and you have like 4 options. Out of the 4 options, the words are actually connected to the main word, but there is a word that is nearest to that word. So when you hear steeze, what comes to your mind? Does it ring a bell? What bell does it ring? Will you call it packaging or suffering and smiling?
Suffering and smiling.
At least, where do you think is suffering and smiling or packaging?
I think they're similar. Packaging, because you can actually be suffering and still appear good. So if you look at it, it's similar.
Yeah.
So we're suffering, we're smiling, and we're packaging. So I think
we're talking about the nearest word now.
Suffering and smiling, because we're actually suffering, but then we're trying to, let's just look good. Nothing is happening. We are fine. We are not fine. I want to pick it from something you said. You talked about a celebrity. You know the problem I have with Nigerians. I have a lot of problems with Nigerians, but the main problem I have is that you see the people who actually push these things, this trendy words, steeze and all that, are celebrities. Those people are not suffering. They are not. They are doing well. I mean, most of them waste a lot of money. They go to club.
Sure.
And so they come online, and because we have a lot of people following these influencers, looking up to them, they are role models and all that, and they're telling you to keep your steeze. Those people don't lack GREE. I mean, they eat a lot in their house. Some of them take deserts, they take a lot of things, and you're suffering, and they're preaching the word steeze to you. Man, we need to come to the reality check that this steeze is not helping us.
It's not
and people
helping.
are taking it very extreme.
Yeah,
People
That's
are taking
one
it
thing.
very
That's one thing
extreme,
about
sincerely, and it's
Nigerians.
not
They
funny.
can misuse some terminologies.
Okay, there was
Yeah.
something that Peter Obi said. I think he was talking about, that was during the democracy day. An interview on Arise TV. He was talking about Bobrisky, and he was he said the truth. To be sincere, he said something. He said, if with this hunger strike, a lot of no food, people are actually dying of hunger. People are struggling. People are crying. He said, if right now they start sharing bag of rice, people condemning Bobrisky that he's cross-dressing. We dress like females to go and pick bag of rice. And that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yes.
Let's try it now. Let Ogun State governor say you want to share bag of rice. And
For
it's sharing to
women.
females. My God, you see a lot of males wearing wig. That's when you will know that some people see. What are we saying? See, people will lose their steeze. I mean, we're in a critical condition. We're in that point where the doctor tells you that this sickness cannot be managed anymore.
Well,
Just stop wasting money on dialysis. That's the point we have gotten to in Nigeria. We thought it's going to be better, but it's not. And so you see this steeze. Let's be very factual to ourselves. We are suffering and we're smiling.
we're smiling.
We're not even suffering. We're in a critical condition.
You know, I feel like in the past they usually say it's the youth that suffers and smile, that will just come on social media and put up a smile,
Yes.
but deep down you're suffering. But I feel now not only the youth, even the parents are complaining. Like when you hear parents complain about the price of things, now the problem is what they are earning and what they're putting out there is you can't compare. So it's killing each and every one, except for this, now this celebrity, like she said, because they're, maybe we
Yes,
don't know too
yeah.
much, but at least to an extent,
Yes,
they're comfortable.
yes.
So I feel like it's time we put it aside and face the reality, because now we're really suffering and smiling at this point.
I just feel like Steeze is the height of insincerity.
Sincerely,
You're trying to build a picture that is not actually there.
we're creating
That's
fantasies.
the
Like,
right
seriously,
word.
Yeah, we're creating fantasies.
Okay, so Steeze is suffering and smiling, and Steeze is also packaging to me. On the personal ground, it's packaging, but in the bigger picture, nationwide, it is suffering and smiling. And talking about Steeze, style and ease, the other day we had this festival in Ijabode.
Ojudeoba.
Yes. And it was so beautiful, very
Like-
colorful. They were serving Steeze and composure, aura, something.
Who's not aware of this event?
Oh, you have to be
actually
there.
big.
There's this
Like-
fair woman that is trending, and
Yeah.
there's this other guy with this lip tattoo. Oh God, they all made sense. But coming to that, someone was saying Ijabo Day is celebrating Ojudoba, but their roads are very
bad.
terrible. The building, there's
But don't
no
even get
infrastructure.
started on roads.
So-
if they are giving awards or ranking when it comes to bad road, Ogun State ought to be at the first.
Oh.
Because I mean, you can continue. Don't worry. Let's
The
just
road
end
from
there.
Abeokuta to
Yeah.
Ota is oh my God.
Oh, wow.
I need to
Can
take
you
a
boast
deep
of any
breath.
The
place
road
in Ogun
from
State that actually
Ota
have
to
good
Lagos
roads?
is still wow.
Like
Those coming from Aton, wow. Like so,
Everything about them is wow.
So wow.
Just
So
not wow.
I've not been to Ijebu before.
Oh, yeah?
But I heard that the place is nothing to write home about.
Oh, I've been
it's-
there.
You have not been there.
Where I think what's the name? Ijebu, Igbo, something like bush. It's really a bush. It's a bushy area.
so
They
you
are
know,
serving steeds in bush.
that's why
Oh my
people
God.
are dragging them. I say,
I had to ask,
Yeah.
the event, did it take place in Ijebu or in Ibi?
no, it's actually in Ijebode, and people are saying that this is the exact picture of Nigeria in a smaller frame.
I'm telling you the fact.
You're showing off how beautiful, colorful your culture is, but then back at home, there's nothing to
I
write
think
home.
some people did the analysis
Oh,
of the
Rose, no
sunshade
electricity.
some of them used.
Wow.
And it was in dollars.
See,
Wow.
I kept looking at that picture to tell you it is 10 over 10. 10 over 10
Or it
out
could
of
be most of the people on that picture are actually not staying there.
They don't-
Maybe
they don't
Even
stay
if
there,
you're not
actually.
staying
They don't
there,
stay there.
The
They
fact
flee
that you're
down.
from that
Yes,
town, I think
yes.
there's a need to just go back to the place and feel like, okay, let me put this here. Let us change a little bit of something.
Yes,
But the
yes.
fact that you're maintaining steez and your town is that bad, no. It's
Well,
nothing-
the little I know about, doing community roads and projects like that is not as easy as you think. Because most times, for instance, where I stay, my parents stay, there's this place called Agbara Estate. okay, they have bad roads. So Unilever happened to be one of the biggest company there. We have Maggie, we have the rest. And so they were trying to fix that road. The thing is, we have leaders who are greedy. And so they were trying to fix that road with their money. But these people are expecting that this money comes to them, then they handle the road project. So what Unilever did was they wanted to fix the whole road. They had to just do their own parts where their trailer passes. So most times, going to a community, it might be somebody wants to do it, but then a lot of things happen behind the scene you don't know. So that's it.
Okay, and that is it for Ijabode and their very, very, very beautiful cultural carnival. I liked it. I loved it. I still love it. They were maintaining. Oh God, I kept looking at those pictures. I was like, this is so beautiful. It was the photographers. They did a very good work. Like they showed us everything, the drones, everything. They were just amazing. And coming back to where we came from, should we embrace Steeze or face reality?
Okay. I think what they say, don't look like your problem. It's not necessarily look like what you're going through. But then Yoruba people too will also say, when you're going through something, let people know.
Okay.
You would not know. Probably the person right beside you might be able to help you out.
Yeah.
So I feel like at this point, we don't have to be so optimistic and just feel, doing too much of something is bad. Misusing things too is bad. So I feel like we're at the point in Nigeria that we just feel like everything will get better, but then we're not working towards the change. So we're just telling ourselves things to calm us and ease the tension. And at this point, I feel like we don't have to ease the tension. We have to work things out. It is getting to the point whereby we have to work things out for ourselves. So as much as I would love us to embrace this, I'll still want us to work things out for ourselves, because things are really getting hard and people are dying daily, every day. I read something, it's not really related to this. A guy broke up with his girlfriend, and the reason he gave was because she's too optimistic. At first, I felt like everyone would be happy because of that. Now, this guy said, if he calls his girlfriend and tell her that, the road is bad, this is it, she'll be like, don't worry, Nigeria will be better. If he calls her and tell her, I don't have money, things are costly, she'll be like, no, don't worry. You don't have to think bad about it. So even if he's giving her reasons to help her understand the things he's going, she will still be positive about it. So at that point, I actually realized that she's not making his feeling get validated. She's making him feel like he's doing too much. So he has a reason for, I don't want this again. So I feel like Nigerians too, we're at that point whereby no matter what the government pushes at us, we accept it like it's nothing. Let's move on. And that is one of the things that is ruining us. Outside the country, they would not allow that. They're out there complaining about their government. Even when you're doing the best, they still check what you're doing. So I feel like at this point, as much as we want to maintain composure, let us speak out. We've gotten to the point whereby we need to speak out and clamor for change, not just APC change. Change.
That's a very good point. I stand with what you said and something that Elizabeth said. She said that Steeze opposes everything that Sorosoke stands for. Yes, you keep maintaining Steeze and things are happening. It will not allow you to, because you want to maintain composure. Let me not just act and people will be like,
you don't lose your Steeze.
You don't lose your Steeze. So if your Steeze, look, my own point is this: if your Steeze is going to affect your Sorosoke, I don't think it's Steeze enough.
Yeah, it's not.
Your Steeze is not reasonable enough. Steeze should be a personal thing that you use to encourage yourself. Yes, let me just keep. But when you know that, because actually I've been expecting a lot of protests.
Sincerely.
But we have chosen to maintain Steeze, and this Steeze is it's looking like it's going to cause us a huge problem.
No, you're not going to see anyone. Let Davido and Wizkid FC start. You will know. I mean, when this kind of thing is when you direct the right energy into the wrong
direction.
I mean, those Davido FC, Davido is not paying you, number one. Wizkid is not paying you. You are fighting for their behalf. But if you can direct that energy into querying the government, local council members, what are people doing with the funds you get?
Okay.
See, the average Nigerian is shameless, very shameless. And that's why if you check globally, even on YouTube, any platform you're seeing where there's monetization, Nigerians always do well. That's why they're always hanging our monetization so that we don't finish the money. The reason is because Nigeria is shameless when it comes to marketing what they have. And so the idea of Steeze is good because it's a kind of check on the shamelessness.
Yeah.
Trying to tell Nigerians that, all right, so we know you people are shameless people, but then can you maintain composure? I mean, can you try to, just act
Hold
cool and
yourself,
all
yeah.
that? Don't
Yes.
be too,
Yes.
don't show your suffering. And then why it is a good thing to put a check on Nigerians on their reckless behavior when it comes to shamelessness. The idea of this tease also, if you check it, or if you're trying to checkmate it as it has to do with the national economy, what is happening in the country, we'll see that this tease is actually making us not to speak like you said. I can't remember the last time I heard someone post the hashtag Sorosoke. And maybe that was in 2020 during that
Yeah.
Lekki something.
Dead and gone.
And since then, nothing happened. Nigeria, I don't know, protest in Nigeria doesn't really used to make meaning. It starts and all of a sudden just die and there's nothing to come up from it or stuff like that. So the idea of this tease, it is good, yes, but then let's be aware, like you said, too much of everything is not good. Too much of everything can make it poisonous. So while we're trying to, act like nothing is, everything is fine, that beans is not selling for 1.5 for 1.7 now, rice is almost going
It's
to
2K. It's
85
actually 2K.
Beans,
now.
beans is over 2,000.
Yeah.
Even cook stew. People are now using garden egg.
Cucumber.
I saw a video on cucumber. I mean, we are trying to act like all these things are not really happening.
Becoming
in
creative
the
with
country.
poverty.
That's actually the right word. And so when we are trying to act like all the things are not happening, I mean, that seeds need to be questioned. We need to start questioning the angle it's going because it's trying to destroy everything that we stand for. And everything about democracy is that democracy is meant to be a government for the people. But what we are seeing right now in Nigeria is the government was not even chosen by the people, number one. They made the government themselves. Now they're not even ruling for us, they're ruling for themselves. So I mean, if you're going to be keeping Steeze, it is good. We don't want to make people know that, oh, Nigeria is suffering. Out there with Ghana, let's keep it, please. Nigeria, keep it. Yes. Ghana cannot win us in this fight. We have this ongoing battle online.
Yeah.
Ghana, South Africa. So we need to keep this Steeze. But please, when we're in our country, let's be very realistic. I mean, that's Steeze. Let's throw it because we're really suffering. People are suffering. And this is not actually part of this podcast, but I'll just have to say it. I've been asking myself a series of questions. How is Nigeria? I think Nigeria ranked, is it third on the list of hunger list? Yes. Nigeria ranked third. Nigeria joined the list. And my question is, how is Nigeria getting to this list? Or how did Nigeria get to this list? I mean, Nigeria has many uncultivated lands. Sure. Let's be very sincere. We have, in the north, if you go to the northern region, but because of insecurity, so they can't.
I think they killed their farmers.
Even Benue, they used to have, food that's very cheap. Now, things are actually expensive in Benue. So it keeps me asking question. Okay, if we keep our Steeze, hunger will kill us. So.
And they tell you.
And not only hunger, we'll keep losing people, and our government will keep buying jets off. Let me stop it here.
Like seriously, I was also thinking this might not also be related.
Yeah.
Now we're renovating the vice president home for about 23 point something billion naira, and people are out there. There are people in the hospital that cannot even pay for their own health issues. Now people are out there hungry. They can't even afford the least Gary. Let's go for Gary.
Yeah.
Now they can't even afford Gary, and then we're renovating a home for 23 point something billion naira. I wonder what was in the house.
No.
Let's not go.
When I heard that, I asked myself, is the roof leaking? Is the roof leaking? Are the walls?
I wonder where Osinbajo was sleeping then.
Like, it's funny. Are you talking about renovation? Oh God, expect a new presidential jet.
Oh, okay.
Because what happened to the last one?
And do we think...
No, Buhari has not been flying. He had not been...
No, he has not been. I think he was probably flying.
Flying as a fly.
Yes, he was flying. So I feel like we need to get to the point whereby we need to speak up
Speak
at
up.
this point. 23 point something billion naira. I feel like in other countries they will go haywire. Like, are you joking?
Recklessly in this
Like,
country.
you're doing
and
this for
nobody
the-
is even accounting for what the money is used for.
Anything.
All the money EFCC recovered, where did that money go to? Where?
All the
All the
Abacha,
money
Abacha loot,
everything from Ikwemado. Where's the money? Where is the money? Who is using it?
I don't get.
But there's so many general hospitals that doesn't even have facilities. People are dying.
Every day on a daily basis.
We'll
God.
keep these things, and at the end of the day, we'll lose
it's
Nigeria.
a lot.
I mean,
It's a lot.
all those things that
A whole
Nnamdi
lot.
Azikiwe the rest fought for. I mean, why did they even fight this fight? We should have been. They would have left us. Let us know that
Yes,
we are
you're
still
under
under
your
British.
colonial
Sure, you get
masters.
exactly, because I don't even see the reason of this independence, and I think it's time to also start checkmating if we are really practicing a democratic system of government, because we have gone out of it.
I'm not
On
sure
that
we have.
June 12th, I was just seeing so many media houses. Congratulations to Nigeria 25 on broken Guinea. Broken. It has been broken. There is a problem already. There's a
Shattered.
crack.
It's
But
not
they
very
kept saying
shattered.
unbroken. I'm like, what is not broken? It has been broken.
Yes, it's broken.
And this is something that super glue can't even fix.
You know,
Elizabeth.
So that's it.
Elizabeth. I'm telling you, okay, listeners, see, when I look at Steeze, from all we have talked about, what I see is drugs and drug abuse.
yeah.
Yes, drug is a good thing. The same way Steeze is a good thing. But there is something about misuse and abuse when you start using it over and over, even in the face of hardship, not just hardship, gross hardship, and you still want to. I mean, it's just like you keep using that drug, just keep using it. Even when things are getting bad, it is damaging your kidney, you're still using it. You're getting addicted, you're still using it. That's when it becomes bad. So we are not saying that Steeze is something we should do away with. We are rather saying that while you maintain Steeze, do not lose guard. Stay alert. Stay alert. Open your eyes. Do not overlook things that you're supposed to fix your eyes on. Something like the economic hardship that we are passing through currently. It's not something that we should just, discuss about it 1 minute, 5 minutes, and you get going and go about your businesses. These are things that cause for protests.
Yeah,
In a sane society, in a sane country, by now we would have witnessed like several protests, strike. Do you know, like NLC called for strike, and so many people are complaining.
I don't get.
Complain about what exactly? These people are actually fighting for you. So what is your problem?
No, I feel some are complaining because they feel if they increase the minimum wage, the price of things will also
Go up.
But I feel like regardless, if I feel I have the money to get that thing, my mind is still calm and I'm like settled because I feel okay. Whatever I want to get is for 1,000 naira and I have the money to get it. Now we're at the point whereby things are costly and I cannot even afford it.
I don't know who is actually the leader of that NLC, but if the government is not agreeing 500, you people should continue. They have what it takes. You can't tell me that what they're demanding is bigger than the government budget. But people have wardrobe allowances of 9-point-something billion, running into billions.
They're
Wardrobe
renovating house
allowances.
for
So that means
23
just only
billion.
to dress a politician is what that amount. And the people making things happen are these people.
What are they using? Are
They're the
they
one making
runway
this thing happen,
models?
not even
I don't
politicians.
understand.
Walking to
They're
a
also
government house.
collecting
All these
hardship
people that are
allowance.
working there, they are underpaid, but they do a lot of work. You need to see the work they do there. So please, if they are not agreeing, you should.
Now, the funny thing is they're working hard and then you still maltreat them.
I mean, working like
you know,
elephants, eating like ants.
there's something when you're making use of someone, when you pay them well, they would not even feel it.
Yes.
But you're using them to the bone, and then you're still
Getting
giving
the
them.
deserved payment.
Do you know, like a lot of people see Putin, that's the president of Russia, as a very bad person. But you cannot fault Putin in front of any Russian man. Because yes, Putin is seen as a dictator, but to Russians, his dictatorship is benefiting them and they are fine with it.
Okay, you know, I saw something about converting minimum wage of African countries to naira. Some are collecting over 100,000. Some are collecting 200k. I think a country, let me not just say of the good part, a country is collecting 7,000 naira. But then I feel when we put it on like if we should put them,
7,000,
sorry.
7,000 naira.
Like I don't understand which country.
No,
is
no,
that?
you should know
A
that
country-
they are not. No, when you put them
Yeah.
side by side with Nigeria, they have nothing.
Yeah, so they're collecting 7,000, but if we should put them on the list from the lowest, I feel
Yes.
Nigeria should be on the fourth number or the third one. We have another country that collects 30,000, and I think we also, it's 30,000 here in Nigeria. But then we also have other people that are collecting over 200,000, over 100,000 naira, and
And they are
we be
no
like
more.
them?
They are no more graced than we are. They are not. They are not more graced than we are.
You know, I was surprised when I got to know that even India, when it comes to their economy, whatever, they are better than Nigerians.
India is a very,
Yes,
is a
Indian is
very.
already clowned. I mean,
Indians
it's
Right
a
of
no one
technology.
class
Indian are
country.
doing well.
Country.
Indian are one of the best innovators. People who invent things.
Like
Young
in the
minds
past,
inventing
India
things.
was known to be one of the worst countries
Yes,
in the
poorest,
world.
Yes.
of course.
Poorest. And now they're even better. When I saw it, I was shocked.
That
Like
is,
we've gotten to that
that
point.
is progress for you.
Exactly.
Ah.
Yes, everyone is allowed to progress, but if you determine because I don't say if you want, Nigeria is determined to stay where they are. Yeah,
We are maintaining Steve.
We are
I just remember this advert we used to watch those days. Papilio, I know say one day go better. He no go better. If Papilio has grown up now, please tell him.
you know better. They want you still skill us.
Like,
Oh God. Oh, vigilant listeners, we have said a lot about Steeze and everything connected to Steeze. And this is our one advice. Yes, maintain Steeze, but speak up and react to things that are not good to you. What you feel is not good. You should sorrow soak it. Let your Steeze not prevent your sorrow soaking. And with this, we've come to the end of the podcast. I believe it has been very, very interesting. It has been very, very interesting. I can testify to that. And do well to join us on our next episode of Vigilant. Thank you so much.